good? It's your girl Tootsie and you're watching Tootsie Time, and today I'm with a special guest, as you can see.
What's going on? It's your girl Sham Booty. I was late on that one. I was like so busy like voguing for you.
It's fine though, it's fine. We have to give a little some. All of her links will be in the description box below, so make sure you check her out. We will be doing a girl talk today. You guys, as always, send me your questions and we're gonna try our best to help you out.
No trying today though, only executing.
Is that what she wants?
100% perfect score. Let's go.
First question is from Toya the Gemini. She says, hey Tootsie and special guest. Some girl in my class has beef with me ever since I started talking to a guy. I don't know whether I should confront her or just leave it. For me, it would depend on who this girl is to you. If this girl is someone you consider a friend, you confront that. Because if she knows that you're talking to this guy and she starts talking to him and now there's beef, it's like, you're my friend, why would you do that? But if she's just someone who you just see around and you don't know her, I don't really think, why would you confront her? We don't fight over guys out here. It's really not that deep.
Yeah, I think, but that 100%, like I've been in those situations before, like via social media, and it's just like those things to let go because I'll never see you. But if you're gonna see someone every single day in class, or you're gonna see them in the hallway once in a while, it's just like, at the end of the day, you're in the right. Like you have every right to try to romantically connect with somebody. So you can just say like, hey, like I have an interest in this person. I don't want this to be bad blood between you and I. I'm feeling a weird vibe between you. Is there something that I'm doing that's making you uncomfortable that we can talk about? Right. And more than likely she's gonna say like, oh no, I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem. And from now on, whenever she gets stank towards you, she has to check herself. So I think you're just like, giving that sentence that just says, I notice and I see you, I think it's petty, you know, how can I help you? And the truth is, ain't shit you can do but live. So they're gonna realize that.
I mean, I would be curious to know why she has beef with you, but like I said, if I didn't really know her like that, she wasn't really my friend, I honestly wouldn't take that next step to find out, because it's like, okay, it's not that deep. But I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Hey Queen has asked, what should my friend do? She likes someone but doesn't know if they like her back. She's so confused and we keep talking to him but he won't say anything. Should she leave him alone or should she keep on pursuing?
Ooh, it's a fun problem to have.
I mean,
don't you miss this problem?
Yeah.
When you're like, I like him. Does he like me?
I don't know. Can you talk to him and find out?
Exactly. Pass him this note, but don't put my name on it.
Right. I mean, if your friends are doing their friendly duties by talking to this guy and he's not giving them any info, I think you're gonna have to just buck up some courage and talk to him yourself. That's what I think you're gonna have to do, because how will you know? He might not be trying to give your friends info because he ain't trying to talk to your friends, so.
There's things called IOIs, which are indicators of interest, and that would be like eye contact for long periods of time. Like if you initiate physical contact, do they move away abruptly? Like, do they lean in when they're talking to you? Do they mimic you? Like if you like somebody, when you're sitting across them talking, they're naturally going to mirror what you're doing. So I would like Google IOIs and look out for those things. I have found in my own experience, whenever somebody has approached me, for example, who I did not have an interest in, and has said like, hey, I kind of not sure if things are going on between us, or do you feel something? I was always blindsided, like, no, I did not. Like, I've given you no signals at all. So while I think it's, of course, like the fastest route just to go in and get the answer, a lot of the times it's it can set yourself up for something that you're not prepared for, or an embarrassment or rejection. So I think look for the indicators of interest off the top, and if you don't see those and you're still bothering you, then say something.
I like that. I like that advice. Don't listen to what I said.
Well, have you ever been approached before by somebody who was like, so I was wondering if you felt this connection? You were like, I thought we were just like science buddies.
Yeah, that has happened to me before. But I mean, I'm a nice person. I would never just like shoot someone down like, ew, why would you even... Well, I can't say the same for everyone else, so maybe your advice would be better. Don't buck up the courage to go and talk to him yourself.
Ooh, but I hope he doesn't shoot you down. Anybody who shoots you down is like a supreme douchebag. Like supreme.
I mean, yeah. If you have that in mind, that it's a possibility, then it might be easier for you, but... Shamika has asked how to deal with a player, or how to know that they are a player. Very vague. But how to know someone's a player? I mean, there's always signs.
There's always signs.
There's always signs.
Yeah, reputation. How many girls do they follow, or how many people are they like engaged with?
See, that's the thing. I'm glad you said that. How many girls do they follow? People don't think social media is a real thing. it's a real thing, and it tells someone's character. Who do they follow? How many people do they follow? How do they interact with these people on social media?
Girl, I am a massive advocate for social media stalking. I think like that's almost like if you're going on a job interview, you would research the company before you went up to the meeting. Like that's the exact same thing. If I have the tools to understand this company, why not use them at my disposal to get the leg up on it or to know if I want to work there or not? So social media stalking is a good thing, but don't do it for the petty things like that's like somebody else, talking to this person. Do it to see like, is this a quality person? You know, do they have similar interests to me? Like what is their love language? How do I want to attach to this person? Do we have similar values? Like those are the things you should be stalking for.
Yep. And how many girls does he call sis? Look out for that.
Ma, hey ma. Is sis a sexual thing?
Listen, so many guys will be like, oh, that's my sister, that's my sis. No, ain't no sis.
Oh, I didn't know
that. Ain't no sis. Ooh. Bree Lynn wants to know, what's a nice way to tell your friend that they need to work on their hygiene?
Oh! This is dear to my heart because I am that smelly friend.
No!
Yes. But I know that about myself, so it's like not that big of a deal.
Has anyone ever
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, that's why I know that. Like people will like it comes out negatively sometimes. Like if I'm making fun of someone, they'll like make fun of me back for having BO. Or my partner a lot of times will be like, "Hey, have you showered in the past week?" I'm like, "You know I showered today." But I think it's like. That's a really hard one because I had a friend who didn't know they had BO and I just watched them, they kept getting dumped. And then I have no idea why this person dumped me. We were going so well and I'm like, I know why, because you smell like a garbage truck. And it was so hard for me to tell them and like work up the courage to say like, you really have to like get that fixed. And it isn't a matter of taking a shower or like a deodorant stick, it's a real problem. How would you want to be told?
How would I want to be told? I wouldn't want to be told, first of all. I would probably just want to be
smelly and
like, imagine you're just like having a general conversation like, oh my gosh, this deodorant is so bomb, you should try it. It just came out, my armpits are like mad smooth. Like that. I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try it. Maybe something like that, like suggest things that you supposedly like.
But you know what? This is a typical non-smelly person thought process because you think is that we're not showering or putting deodorant on. We are. It's just a biological issue, okay? Like we're just smellier people. So like for me, apple cider vinegar, drinking lots of water, like I have to watch my diet, like because I can err on the side of smelly, like I have to be on top of that. And so you gotta let your friend know because they may think that they're just like Tootsie, just walking around showering and putting on 1-2 swipes and like that's the end of the problem for them. That's not the thing for them. They need advanced help. They gotta come and see me. That's all.
Tell them to come see me. That because not a lot of people would think like that. They'll probably just think like me. I remember I had this friend and she didn't smell too good, and my other friend, she ran her a bath and she was so offended. She didn't do it in like a malicious way, like go take a bath. She was just like, oh, you're leaving so soon, I ran you a bath and everything.
It's so random.
It was random though, and she got really offended and I was like,
yeah, because it's kind of like telling somebody who has acne, like, don't have that chocolate bar. You're like, no, it don't work like that. Like, no.
Sorry. Lexi wants to know, how do you deal with periods when they come on the wrong day or when your man wants to have sex? Well, there's other things you can do apart from sex.
As a married woman,
I can tell you. I mean, having sex is great, of course, but if you're on your period, there's nothing you can do about that. So get those hands to work, get that mouth to work. Well, actually, it depends on how old you are, because I don't really want to be giving you this advice if you're like a teenager or something. Then I would tell you to stay in school. But I mean, yeah, you can do other things. And I'm a very what's the word? I'm a very touchy-feely person. I like massages.
Me too.
Like that stuff was great to me. Like I don't have to have sex. So hopefully your man is like that too. And it won't really even matter.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, women have to stop being so embarrassed about our periods or our cycle. Like, that is why we are all alive today. Because of the fact that you bleed, like, that is what the world revolves around. So we shouldn't have to be embarrassed about that. And if it happens, just be straight up. Like, this is off my cycle. You know what the funny thing, too, is, like, I was saying this because so many women are, like, afraid of, like, the spotting or, like, seeing, like, a stain and it coming and embarrassing them. And I ask people all the time, I'm like, how many period stains have you seen before? Like, have you ever seen someone before who was like wearing jeans, like on the side, it was like ketchup stains?
No, I haven't.
No. That's the same thing with dudes. Dudes, like, who get boners, they're always afraid that people see their boner. Like, oh, they're so embarrassed that could happen. I've never seen an accidental boner in my life, and I've never seen a period stain in my life. It doesn't really, like, people are not paying that close attention. Just, like, it's all in your head, and, like, why do that to yourself? You have your period for, like, what, 40 years? So get used to it.
What do you do if you love a boy who's your ex, but you have a boyfriend, but both you and your ex are taken, but you're both low-key in love? So you're both low-key in love, but in separate relationships. I want to know why that happened, first of all. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think I need more of a backstory.
And that happens a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Both of you are still low-key in love, but you're both in separate relationships?
There's probably one person who's way more in love, the other person who's like, yeah, I think you're cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go chill with my girl right now, you know? But, I mean, love is addictive. It takes a very long time for people to get out of your system, and so you may still have a connection to that person, but you have to remind yourself constantly why it didn't work. And if it was one of those things, like it didn't work because of long distance, but now you live in the same town, like then you can revisit the idea that maybe you guys are meant to be together. But if it didn't work because you guys, he cheated, or like he found you really annoying, or you guys had nothing in common, or like your families didn't get along, like you have to remind yourself of those things, because it's very easy to romanticize a relationship that you're not in. Too easy.
Yeah, I like that advice. Okay, this one says, my roommate has been in an abusive relationship for 7 years. Recently, she found out she was pregnant. She told him and he pushed her down the stairs. She miscarried a few days later, but hasn't called the cops. Is it my place to say something, or should I mind my business? I would never mind my business if it came to my friend in an abusive relationship. No. I mean, she would probably tell you, don't say anything, don't get involved, but she doesn't mean it. Come on. It's been 7 years and she's been in an abusive relationship. I would step in. What would you do?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think at the end of the day, like when somebody is that heavy into the addiction of love, like they are blinded by it. And the reason why people lose their lives is because nobody was able to recognize the fact that like you're not making good choices for yourself. Like you're past the point, you know, that's why interventions exist. Like at some point your family and friends have to step in and say, well, look, this addiction is taking over your life and it's losing control. So I think as a friend, you have every right to step in. Even though it may end your friendship, it's better than something way worse happening.
Exactly. You don't want that on your conscience either. And a lot of times people in abusive relationships, they're scared. So she might want out, but she's not going to admit it just in case she feels like it's going to come back on her and somehow he's going to find out that she wants out, or somehow he finds out that she is considering going to the police. So she will just say, no, I'm fine. Don't listen, intervene. How do you deal with your parents not supporting you with what you want to do as a career? Well, my parents support me, luckily. Luckily.
Well, I've had that problem.
Right. But honestly, someone asked me this question before and I literally just said, do what you want to do. I know it's really bad. It depends on what kind of upbringing you come from. It could be religious reasons why they don't support certain things. Like, I don't know. And that's really hard, but it's your life at the end of the day. You can't live your life for your parents. Yes, they brought you into this world, but you have to spread your wings. Like, you have to. They'll come around. They're your parents. They'll love you. You just have to stand your ground. You can't let them just dictate your life, because you won't be happy. What's more important, your happiness or their happiness?
Yeah, I am from the place that my parents did not support me, so I work as a sexual educator, and I started when I was 19 years old, and it was not a decision that my parents were like really happy and behind. And so I just knew at that point I couldn't make it their problem. And so I paid for school by myself. I made sure that I was like doing what I was supposed to do in the home while I still lived with them. I like didn't allow it to intervene with like my family life, but I made sure that it was 100% funded, supported, and worked by me. And I knew that I had to create my own support system outside of the home, which is why I turned to YouTube at such a young age. So I feel like you have to just accept it. You know, they're not going to understand. A lot of people aren't going to see the dream until the dream is something that's tangible and real. And you have to know that your parents don't come from an evil place of wanting you to like be unhappy and work at a desk job that you hate. They just want security, and they want for you what they have for themselves. Take a look at your parents' life. Do they take risks, or are they kind of play it safe people? And if they're play it safe people, they'll never really understand, and so don't expect them to.
She's killing it right
you
now.
guys.
Killing it. She wants to know, Perfect Flaws wants to know, I have a question. Is it wrong for me to be talking to 4 guys and seeing where their mindset is and to choose which one fits more in my category and respects me more. Okay, I guess she's just trying to say
She playing the field.
she's playing the field.
Yeah.
Is that wrong of her? I don't think it's wrong with you.
Not at all.
I personally would play the field, but I wouldn't give up the goods to all 4 guys. That's just my personal thing. So if you're just playing the field, going on dates, having conversations, kissing, whatever you're doing, cool. But if you're having sex with all of them, I personally wouldn't advise that. There's just something that happens when you have sex with someone, and sharing that with 4 people around the same time period, I don't know, I feel like that would just confuse you and mess you up, and I wouldn't do it.
100% agree that it might confuse you, but it may not confuse you. So you gotta know yourself. But if you're having that question already, I guess to your point is like, if you're questioning if dating 4 people is permissible or cool, then maybe having sex with them may be a level that you're not yet ready, to own. There's nothing wrong with sleeping with everybody, nothing wrong with dating everybody, as long as you don't think anything's wrong with it. But if you're still sort of like not really quite comfortable yet, then definitely go slow. But go, girl. You go, girl.
Pimkey 33. Hey girl. She says, what should I do? If I care for a guy and he says he cares for me, but his actions reflect not interested. I know this far too well. I would honestly just tell you to drop him out. I've dealt with people who always try and hold on to me, like, I care about you. I want to do this with you. I can see a future with you. But then their actions are just completely like I'm a pest, or I'm bothering them, or they're just not interested. They're trying to keep you there so they can use you when they ain't got nothing else better to do. That's just from my experience. I would say drop him out right now. That's what I would say.
I'm 100% with that. I think that there's way too many people who live in a world where you have access. It's not like it's back in the day where there's 10 people in your town and 2 of them are your brothers, and you got 8 left, and 1 of them is like 5'1". You have a lot of choices out there, and so there's no reason to settle for situations that don't make you feel like your best woman or your best self. So that's my honest advice. Like, the girl before had it right. Have 4, so you're like, number 3 is no good. Get rid of him.
So that is all the questions we'll be answering today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
I know, I just love her advice. I'm just sitting here taking notes. So, for the next girl talk, you know where to send the questions. Make sure again, check out all her links. They'll be in the description box. Hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.